Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today I want to learn to avoid some important mistakes, so let's get started. First, this is not correct.
Because sometimes you're going to see pictures that are going to remind you of characters or things you've seen before and you've named before, and they're just the same as the word that you're learning.
You've named before? We don't use the verb name in this way. You don't name a word that you've learned. You would say you've learned what it's called, not you've named before. Again, you don't name words that you've learned. You learn what they're called. We use the verb name when you name your children or you name your pets. That's a different idea. For example, this thing. Have you learned what it's called? I can't say have you named it before. No, have you learned what it's called? And the answer is yes. I've learned what it's called. Let's practice. Have you learned what this thing is called? Very good. This is also not correct.
And the first thing that comes to my mind and that Google will show you is New Beetle car by Volkswagen.
I cannot say new Beetle car by Volkswagen. First, we don't say car, and we need an article. You can say a or the. Let's use the. The new Beetle by Volkswagen. This is correct. It's also called a Volkswagen Bug. Example, have you seen the new Beetle by Volkswagen? And the answer is yes, I've seen the new Beetle by Volkswagen. Let's practice. Have you seen the new Beetle by Volkswagen? That's right, I've seen the new Beetle by Volkswagen. Don't say new Beetle car. It's the new Beetle by Volkswagen. This is also not correct.
And you ran away from police in Chicago. So they always used Volkswagen New Beetle.
I cannot say they always used Volkswagen New Beetle. Volkswagen New Beetle? We say it differently. First, we need an article, the. We say the new Volkswagen Beetle. Example, this is the new Volkswagen Beetle. Not Volkswagen New Beetle, but the new Volkswagen Beetle. Let's practice. What's the name of this car? Is it the new Volkswagen Beetle? That's right, it's the new Volkswagen Beetle. This is also not correct.
And yes, hello, I've been using this word for hundreds of times in my life.
I cannot say I've been using this word for hundreds of times in my life. What's the problem? We don't use for. It's correct to say I've been using this word hundreds of times in my life, but no for. For is if you say for 1 month or for a long time, but if it's hundreds of times, we don't use for. Example, he's flown on a plane hundreds of times. Not 400 of times. Not 400 of times, just hundreds of times. He's flown on a plane hundreds of times. Let's practice. Has he flown on a plane hundreds of times? That's right, he's flown on a plane hundreds of times. This is also not correct.
Another great example is Gosling, and Gosling is a baby goose.
I cannot say Gosling is a baby goose. Gosling is countable. I have to say a. A Gosling is a baby goose. It's also Ryan Gosling's last name. And it's a baby goose. So example, a Gosling is a baby goose. This is a Gosling. Let's practice. What is a Gosling? That's right, a Gosling is a baby goose. This is also not correct.
Miss a bus. When you lost the bus, it is gone.
I cannot say when you lost the bus. We don't lose buses. You miss buses. You miss the bus. You don't lose the bus. Example, he missed the bus. He didn't lose the bus, he missed the bus. Let's practice. Did he miss the bus? That's right, he missed the bus. This is also not correct.
Pronounce them in an American way or pronounce them in a British way, whatever you want to sound. For example, aquarium.
Pronounce them in an American way, pronounce them in a British way, whatever you want to sound. I cannot use the word whatever, whatever you want to sound. I have to use however, however you want to sound, not whatever. So pronounce them in an American way, pronounce them in a British way, however you want to sound, not whatever you want to sound, however. This is also not correct.
Seems obvious and you've already known the word milk, but yay, there's another meaning. So many words like that. The most obvious ones are, for example,
so many words like that? I cannot just say so many words like that. I need to make a complete sentence. I use there are. There are so many words like that. We have to make a complete idea. We can't say it short. So many words like that. We need to say, there are so many words like that. Example, we have a lot of words that end with T-I-O-N. There are so many words like that. Let's practice. Are there so many words like that? That's right, there are so many words like that. This is also not correct.
Write down the list of them. They're all going to be the same.
I cannot say they all going to be the same. They all going to be the same? I need there are, and I need to make a contraction. There. They're all going to be the same. If I use the reduction gonna, I have to make the contraction with they are. There. They're all going to be the same. Not they all going to be the same, but they're all. Make that sound. It's very important. They're all going to be the same. Example, if you order a bunch of hamburgers from McDonald's, are they all going to be the same? And the answer is yes. They're all going to be the same. They're all going to be the same. Let's practice. If you order a bunch of hamburgers from McDonald's, are they all going to be the same? That's right. They're all going to be the same. This is also not correct.
Because there are so many words that sound pretty much the same in every single language, and you don't even need to translate or adjust them or whatever.
You don't even need to translate them? Need to? We cannot pronounce it need to. It's pronounced need to or need to. Need to is more common, so we make the stop D, need, then we go to the t sound, release it, t with that short sound. Like cup and up. Need to. You don't even need to translate them. So some words are cognates. That means they're the same in both languages. And for these words, you don't even need to translate them. When we talk about cognates, do you need to translate them? That's right, you don't even need to translate them. Need to. Not need to, but need to. This is also not correct.
And this is the way I define 100 most commonly used words in the English language. And
100 most commonly used words. The word is not pronounced commonly. It's pronounced commonly. Use the short sound like hot and stop. Common. Example, she wants to learn the 100 most commonly used words in English. Let's practice. Does she want to learn the 100 most commonly used words in English? That's right, she wants to learn the 100 most commonly used words in English. Thank you for watching, and keep watching to avoid more mistakes in English. First, this is not correct.
take a course about English.
I cannot say take a course about English. Well, maybe if you're studying the origins of the language, but that's not what she's talking about. We have to use the preposition in. You take a course in English, or you take an English course, but we cannot say you take a course about English. Not in this case. Example, he's taking an English course, or he's taking a course in English. Let's practice. Is he taking an English course? That's right, he's taking an English course. Is he taking a course in English? That's right, he's taking a course in English, not about English, in English. This is also not correct.
One of the courses that has been a bestseller on our platform called LinguaTrip is a course called From Intermediate to Advanced, where in 30 days we cover majority of the topics that you need to go over.
I cannot say in 30 days we cover majority of the topics. When I use the word majority, I have to use the article the majority. It's specific. So it's correct to say in 30 days we cover the majority of the topics. Or I can say in the future. In 30 days they will cover the majority of the topics. I have to say the majority, not just majority. Let's practice. In 30 days, will they cover the majority of the topics? That's right. In 30 days, they will cover the majority of the topics. This is also not correct.
Vocabulary, we cover motivation aspect.
I cannot say we cover motivation aspect. The word aspect is countable, and there's more than one. So I have to say motivation aspects. Or I can say specific, the motivation aspect. But the best option is to make it plural, motivation aspects. We cover motivation aspects. This is correct. We have to put an S on the word aspect to make it plural. So example, they cover, or in the future they will cover motivation aspects. Let's practice. Will they cover motivation aspects? That's right, they will cover motivation aspects. This is also not correct.
I suddenly realized that I have to speak perfect English in order to score my perfect score.
I cannot say I have to speak perfect English in order to score my perfect score. It's not my perfect score because you haven't taken the test yet. After you take the test, you can say my score was perfect. But if you haven't taken the test yet, it's not your score yet. So it's a score, a perfect score. It's a countable noun. We have to use the article a. So you can say, I have to speak perfect English in order to score a perfect score. Not my perfect score. A perfect score. And if you don't want to say score 2 times, you can use the verb get. I have to speak perfect English in order to get a perfect score. This is the best way to say it. Example, he has to study hard in order to get a perfect score. Let's practice. Does he have to study hard in order to get a perfect score? That's right, he has to study hard in order to get a perfect score. Not his perfect score, it's one in general. A perfect score. This is also not correct.
Or you take course for engineers.
I cannot say you take course for engineers. Course is a countable word. You have to use the article a. A course for engineers. Or if it's more specific, you can say the course. The course for engineers. That's a specific one. Example, he wants to be an engineer, so he has to take a course for engineers. It's a course. It's one countable noun. Let's practice. He wants to be an engineer. Does he have to take a course for engineers? That's right, he has to take a course for engineers. Remember, it's a course. Use the article a for one in general. This is also not correct.
If you feel like you are a person who likes to learn language,
I cannot say if you're a person who likes to learn language. Language is a countable noun. We have to use an article. A language. Or I can use plural and say languages. If you're a person who likes to learn languages, this is the best option. Because you're speaking in general, we use plural. If you're a person who likes to learn languages. If you're a person who likes to learn a language, it's correct, but the plural works better here. Example, she's a person who likes to learn languages. Let's practice. Is she a person who likes to learn languages? That's right, she's a person who likes to learn languages. This is also not correct.
like there are 2 most challenging listening exercises in English.
I cannot say there are 2 most challenging listening exercises in English. When I use the superlative, most challenging, I cannot say there are or there is. I have to change the structure. It doesn't work. I have to change it. I have to say there are 2 listening exercises in English that are the most challenging. Example, I cannot say there are 2 tallest buildings in the city. I'm using the superlative, so I cannot use there are. I have to change the structure. I cannot say there are 2 tallest buildings in the city. I have to change it. I have to say it like this. There are 2 buildings in the city that are the tallest. We have to change the structure here. Let's practice. Are there 2 buildings in the city that are the tallest? That's right, there are 2 buildings in the city that are the tallest. Or I can say there are 2 buildings that are the tallest in the city. This is also correct. Let's practice. Are there 2 buildings that are the tallest in the city? That's right, there are 2 buildings that are the tallest in the city. This is also not correct.
Try to understand Scottish accent and try to interact.
I cannot say try to understand Scottish accent. Accent is a countable noun, so I have to use the article the Scottish accent. Sometimes when we talk about accent, we say a. For example, he speaks with a British accent. When we use the verb speak, we use the article a. He speaks with a British accent. But if you say I try to understand the Scottish accent. Let's practice. Does he speak with a British accent? That's right, he speaks with a British accent. Use the article a. Example, it's hard to understand the Scottish accent. Let's practice. What do you think? Is it hard to understand the Scottish accent? That's right. It's hard to understand the Scottish accent. This is also not correct.
Like, it's just a great visualization tool. So
I cannot say a great visualization tool. The word is pronounced differently. We don't say visualization. We say visualization. So it's not the z sound like zebra, it's the j sound like usual, visual. We have the long oo sound plus the o. So we have the w sound in the middle linking the vowels. The w sound like what and when. Visual, visualization. Example, visualization is important when learning a language. Let's practice. Is visualization important when learning a language? That's right. Visualization is important when learning a language. Not visualization, but visualization. This is also not correct.
my daughter is 4 years old. She's going to be 5 soon. And sometimes she asks me questions like,
I cannot say she's going to be 5 soon. Soon? The word is pronounced soon. We have to use a long oo sound like moon. Soon. Noon. It's the long oo sound. Not like good and book. Not soon, but soon. Example. It's 11:45. So is it going to be noon soon? Yeah, it's going to be noon soon. Let's practice. It's 11:45. Is it going to be noon soon? That's right, it's going to be noon soon. So we saw a lot of situations where we learned how to use articles correctly. Keep watching to learn to avoid more mistakes with articles. So remember, when talking about your symptoms, in English we always use the article a. For example, I have a headache. I have a cough. I have a runny nose. Remember to use a before symptoms. It's not correct to say,
it's just you have a runny nose.
So you say, I have a fever. When you have a fever, you take your temperature. It's not correct to say,
let me measure your temperature.
So remember, when you have a fever, you take your temperature. So we say measure the temperature only when we're talking about air temperature. When you're talking about the human body, we always say take. Take your temperature. I think I have a fever. I need to take my temperature. Remember these two important words, cold and flu. If you talk about cold, we say a cold. I have a cold. If you say common cold, we say a common cold. But if you say flu, we say the flu. I have the flu. I need some medicine because I have the flu. Or I need some medicine because I have a cold. It's not correct to say,
it could be caused by flu, or it could be just common cold. Common cold is what you have.
So remember, a cold or the flu. The doctor calls the pharmacy. The doctor calls in the prescription and you pick it up. You pick up your prescription at the pharmacy. We don't say collect your prescription, we say pick up. So I need to pick up my prescription or I need to pick it up. Remember, we don't say,
I've sent them the prescription, you can collect it right away.
We say pick up your prescription or pick it up. Also, avoid using this phrase.
So common cold is when you just feel slightly unwell.
That's right, we don't say unwell. We say I feel sick or I'm not feeling well. So in America, we don't use unwell. We say I'm sick, I'm feeling sick, or I'm not feeling well. Let's practice. Does he have a runny nose?
Yes, he has a runny nose.
Does he have a runny nose? That's right, he has a runny nose. Does she have a headache?
Yes, she has a headache.
Does she have a headache? That's right, she has a headache. Let's practice. Does he have a cold?
Yes, he has a cold.
Does he have a cold? That's right, he has a cold. Let's practice. Does he have the flu?
Yes, he has the flu.
Does he have the flu? That's right, he has the flu. Let's practice. So, he has a fever. Does he need to take his temperature?
Yes, he needs to take his temperature.
He has a fever. Does he need to take his temperature? That's right, he needs to take his temperature. Let's practice. Can he pick up his prescription today or tomorrow?
He can pick up his prescription today.
Can he pick up his prescription today or tomorrow? That's right, he can pick up his prescription today. So remember, when talking about symptoms, we use a for one. Example, a headache, a runny nose. And remember the two special words, a cold and the flu. And remember, if you have a fever, you take your temperature. And if you need a prescription, you go to the pharmacy to pick it up.
Thank you for watching.
And if you want to learn more about sicknesses and articles, check out the link in the description to watch another video like this one. We'll see you next time.